Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Father.
So, children, nice to see you back, back in school. I've missed you. Do you miss me? Do you miss me? You don't miss me, do you? Anyway, I do. I missed you. Well, have you ever heard about this term before? Cathedral. Cathedral. Have you heard about cathedral before? Anybody? You've not heard about it before? Cathedral? Do you know what it's called, cathedral? You don't? Do you? You don't? Okay, cathedral. Okay, yes?
It's a giant church used in Europe.
Giant church in Europe. Okay, a giant church in Europe. Another person? We have cathedral here around us in the Bay Area. Yeah. Huh? The Oakland Cathedral. Okay. Have you been there before? Who has been to the cathedral in Oakland before? Oh, so why did you say you know cathedral? That's cathedral. So, but why is it called a cathedral? Yes? Because of how big it is? Yes? Because the bishop comes from there. Okay, I'm coming to that. You are close. Okay, let me explain to you. Cathedral is from the Latin word. It's actually a Latin word, cathedral. And it means chair. It means chair. The chair. The chair here may not necessarily mean just ordinary chair like that. Call it the seat. The seat. So when you have the seat of a bishop of a diocese, that's the cathedral. If the bishop of Oakland moves his chair to this church today and said, from now, this is my parish. This is the church from which I'm going to administer the flock in Oakland. This church becomes cathedral. It doesn't matter how big or how small. Many times we conceive it as a big place. It doesn't have to be big. How many of you have been to Montreal? Montreal, here. Okay, if you go to the cathedral there, it's like 1/3 of this church. That's so small. So it's not about how big or how beautiful or how magnificent. It's just about where the seat of the bishop is. That is the cathedral. Where the seat of the pastor is, that's the parish. That's why in some language, in some areas they say, instead of saying the pastor, we say the parish priest. Where he sits is. So there may be many churches around that he administers. Wherever it takes to be like, this is where the seat is, that is the parish. You get what I'm saying? Seat. Cathedral. Cathedral. Now, we are celebrating today the feast of the seat of St. Peter. Now, who is Peter? Who is Peter? Yes? One of these is disciple. Huh? A male person? Okay, another person. What do you know about Peter? Yeah, he's the daily church. Actually, yeah. He's the first pope. Okay, I'm coming to that. I may come to that if I remember. Okay. By the way, Peter is one of the disciples of Jesus, also called one of the 12 apostles. Okay? And the way Peter actually was not his name. Jesus gave him the name Peter. His name is actually, his name was Simon. Do you get what I'm saying? Simon, son of Jonah. But when Jesus met him, Jesus called him Peter. And that's why today we call him by that name, Peter. And what's the meaning of Peter? Rock. Rock. And that's why if you look at the reading of today, that reading always causes trouble in the church. Theologians argue it back and forth to say when Jesus said, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." Because of this rivalry among churches, some will say, "Oh no," he said, "Yeah, you are Peter, but upon this rock, that Jesus is the rock." But if you know the meaning of Peter, it's like saying, "You are the rock, and upon this rock." So simple. But still we can't see it because we want to argue, we want to say, "No, rock, Peter cannot be the rock. Jesus said, Christ is my rock." That's what we think. Just all arguments. But Jesus said to him today, because when he was asking, "Who do people say I am?" And people were saying, "You are Elijah, you are this or that." And Peter said, "No, you are the Son, you are the Christ, Son of the living God." And Jesus said, "No, flesh and blood did not reveal that to you, but my Father in heaven. And you are Peter, and upon that rock, this rock, I will build my church." Some will say that rock is the proclamation of Peter, but we are still just arguing. It's so simple. You are rock, and upon this rock. Simple. But what are we saying? When we look at the life of the apostles, Peter always stands in the place of the one that is kind of, that Jesus entrusts with a lot of things. And that is why most of the places Jesus went to, they say Peter, James, and John. Peter has always been there. And in John chapter 20, when they went and called, when Jesus rose again, and Jesus told Mary Magdalene, "Go and tell my disciples and Peter. Go and tell my disciples and Peter." And we're told John and Peter ran to the tomb. And again Jesus interested said, "Peter, do you love me?" He said, "Lord, you know I love you." He said, feed my sheep." "Do you love me?" "No, yeah, not." Anyway, whatever. But it's the authority that has been given. And that is why you see that even in the Acts of Apostles, you see Peter standing up on behalf of the other apostles. Now, these apostles, how many are the apostles of Jesus? Yes? 12. So those 12 apostles, they actually were called bishops. Bishops. Do you get what I'm saying? So they were bishops. But eventually, they also made some other bishops, when they were, as the church was growing, in order to expand, they were ordaining some other people bishops. And bishops were, like me, I'm a priest, I'm not a bishop. You get what I'm saying? So, now these bishops, and that's why in the ordination, during the ordination, you may not understand it, but I'm going to explain it a little because of some other people who will be listening to what I'm saying today. We have the holy orders, have 3 categories. We have diaconate, we have episcopal, that's priest, then we have bishops, deacons, priests, bishops. So whether somebody is a bishop, or is an archbishop, or is a cardinal, or is the pope, they are all bishops. Archbishop, what makes the archbishop different is not because of the person, not because of him, it's because of the seat. So actually, the seat defines those things. What do I mean? If this church is the Diocese of Richmond, for example, you understand what I'm saying? If this is the Diocese of Richmond, and this is the Cathedral of the Diocese of Richmond, and maybe I am the Bishop of Richmond, okay? If I die, what will happen? They need to put, they need to appoint somebody else, right, to take my place. Whoever priest or bishop they call to come down. They can pick on a priest. Maybe they now pick on Father John. Come and be in charge of this diocese of Richmond. For him to take that position, he has to be a bishop. You get what I'm saying? But assuming, no, this diocese is not just a diocese, it's an archdiocese. Whoever has to be on that place, in charge of the place, has to be made an archbishop. Now, what am I saying? St. Peter in Rome, okay? I don't want to go into a long history. In Rome, that seat, the bishop of Rome, whoever is the bishop of Rome is who we call Pope. Because that seat is the seat of the head of the bishops. Do you get what I'm saying? That seat, that position in Rome, the diocese of Rome. You get what I'm saying? The diocese of Rome, whoever sits there to say, I am the bishop of Rome, is who we call Pope. Do you understand? Do you understand? So, what we celebrate is that whoever takes that position is representing Peter, because Peter was the first bishop of Rome. So Peter died, they appointed somebody else, he died. So whoever occupies that space, that position, and that is why today the church celebrates the seat of St. Peter. Do you understand? I'm trying to explain a little. Do you understand a little? So when you hear about cathedral, what should come to your mind is that that's the seat of a bishop. Meaning that you're expecting to find a bishop in the cathedral. He may not be there every Sunday, but be rest assured that he comes there often because that is his own parish. Do you understand? So what does cathedral mean?
Chair.
Chair. The chair of who? The chair of the bishop. Clap for yourself. So that's what the church celebrates today, and I just wanted to explain a little. I know you may not get it as much as I wish, but have the idea. So when they talk about cathedral, yeah. So that's why, where is the cathedral of Oakland? Where is it? Oakland Diocese. Where is the cathedral? In Oakland. What's the name of the cathedral? If you get it, I have, what am I going to give you? I will give you a pen, a special pen. Yes? It's Oakland Cathedral, but what's the name? Like we have St. David, this is a church, we have St. David. Yes?
Cathedral First Light.
Clap for him! Okay? Alright? Cathedral of Christ the Light. That is what we have. And who is the bishop of the Cathedral of Christ the Light? Only two persons? Okay, let me go this side. Clap for him! I'll give you a pen too. Alright? So that's what we have. And if Bishop Barbara leaves today, they're going to get somebody else to occupy that seat. The cathedral will always be there. The bishops can change. The seat of Peter will always be in Rome, but the bishops of Rome can always change. We used to have Pope John Paul, then we have Pope Benedict, now we have Pope what? Francis. Pope Francis. Maybe it will be Father Joyce tomorrow. Oh, I'm kidding. Okay, so that's just the way it goes. So that's what we celebrate today. But it's like we're celebrating the authority that Christ himself placed on Peter. That's what we're celebrating. Do you understand? May God help us. On the Father, and on the Son, and on the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Amen.